modern-day founder of Abercrombie & Fitch, Mike Jeffries.
The head of a very powerful, very wealthy organization.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Lukewarm Mess. This is your host, Thomas. Man, on this episode, we got some scandals going on for you today. If anybody remembers from my era, if you're my age, in the 90s, Abercrombie had some scandalous catalogs, almost soft pornish catalogs going on. And it's funny because the CEO is involved in a human trafficking scandal. But the owner of Abercrombie, all the L brands, Victoria's Secret, should I keep going? Was best friends with Epstein. So it's funny to me here in the 2025, 2026 era that we're seeing the scandals from my high school era come to fucking light. See, back in the day, the owner of L Brands was trying to connect with, I think it was Gahanna Jefferson Country Club, Gahanna Hunters Ridge Country Club, one of the two. But they denied him because all the little bullshit he was involved in that was washed under the table, washed under the rug, swept under the rug. So they didn't want nothing to do with him. Well, he said, screw y'all. I'm going to open my own city. And that's exactly what he did. He brought New Albany to light, a little farm town outside of Columbus, Ohio, on the northeast side. Little farm town, New Albany, Ohio. He builds up. He puts white fences around him so you can't trespass. Nobody can trespass. See, when I first moved here, there used to be a fucking polo club on the corner of Morris and Hamilton. If you remember that, comment down below. I used to love driving by there and seeing the guys playing on the horses, polo. As a kid growing up in the military in a fucking third world country, that was always interesting to me. Come to find out there's a lot of scandals behind this shit.
While Abercrombie & Fitch was established way back in 1892 and had a 456-page catalog by 1909 featuring sporting goods, apparel, and the mysterious game of mahjong imported from China, its target audience would change in the 90s after being bought by The Limited in 1988. At the time, the company was losing $25 million a year. Enter President Michael S. Jeffries in 1992. With a new focus on the American teenager, Abercrombie selected Bruce Weber, the chief of photography, and his brand of beefcake, homoerotic black and white photography served the brand well. Its high price points for tight t-shirts, jeans, hoodies, and more set it apart in the teen industry and made it highly coveted. The white advertising, centering the all-American look, only added to the Abercrombie mythos. Rumors abounded that the store mostly hired white employees and fired minorities without cause, which would haunt the company in the next decade. The brand started with modest sales of $85 million in 1992, which jumped to $111 million the following year, and $165 million in 1994. But Abercrombie's decision to introduce A&F Quarterly, a scintillating magazine criticized as soft porn, changed everything. While American Eagle, JCPenney, and Dillia's did magazine-style catalogs earlier for a 90s audience, A&F was the most popular and controversial. The company's executives insisted the magazine was for consumption by young adults, not the children or teens perusing the aisles of Abercrombie and Fitch. The extremely popular magazines included racy topics, highly stylized non-frontal nudes, and interviews with celebrities and politicians. For instance, Lil' Kim was in the second issue. In addition to a few clothing ads here and there were features on Spike Lee, Bret Easton Ellis, Rudy Giuliani, and Clive Barker. Meanwhile, the only person on the record to turn down a feature was Donald Trump. By 1998, when the brand apologized to Mothers Against Drunk Driving for seemingly promoting binge drinking and drunk driving, it was second in sales for teenagers behind American Eagle, making approximately $805.2 million. I like girls who wear Abercrombie and Fitch, sang LFO in their platinum hit Summer Girls in 1999. That definitely raised the company's profile. And that same year, in the A&F Naughty or Nice Christmas catalog, a feature with porn star Jenna Jameson ruffled more than a few eyebrows. Parents groups and the Lieutenant Governor of Illinois, Corinne Wood, called for a boycott. Abercrombie decided to sell all future issues of A&F Quarterly in shrink wrap and require ID. For $6 a copy, or $12 a year, you could browse the latest Abercrombie styles and be in possession of the most controversial magalog on the market. Circulation would eventually peak at over 1 million. The brand's status with teenagers and young adults would only rise in the new millennium.
Now, you're probably wondering, how does that have to do with Epstein? You heard CEO Michael Jeffries, right? The owner of the company, we're going to say Wex Lexner, was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. At one point in time, Jeffrey Epstein had sole property over his house in New Albany, Ohio.
Huge news to report about the former CEO of what was once a powerhouse clothing brand. Mike Jeffries, the ex-head of Abercrombie & Fitch, is now accused and charged with sex trafficking. This alongside his British partner and a middleman who apparently sports a snakeskin patch on his nose. I know, Abercrombie & Fitch, they have been a controversial company since the 1990s, not just because I used to wear it all the time, but because it was a big thing. It was a big company. But what happened is it launched an image of young sex appeal with what was really nearly naked male models featured heavily in its advertising, sometimes on huge billboards all around the world. The Eastern District of New York alleges that behind the scenes, though, Jeffries and his co-defendants used lies and the promise of ad campaigns and career opportunities to force male models to have sex with them.
And I encourage anyone with information about this case, including anyone who was a victim of the defendant's alleged crimes, to contact the FBI.
My gosh, Nima, those are incredibly disturbing allegations. And for me, what stands out is this level of organization of this. If you take these allegations as true, this was a systematic, well-organized scheme to do this. But what stands out to you as you heard, again, kind of unthinkable allegations from the prosecutor? 100% right. 100% right. That's the key there. And just to take a closer look at the actual wording of the indictment that was filed in the Eastern District, it reads, from approximately 2008 to 2015, the defendants Michael S. Jeffries, Matthew C. Smith, and James T. Jacobson, together with others, operated an international sex trafficking and prostitution business. During this period, Jeffries and Smith relied on their vast financial resources, Jeffries' power as the CEO of Abercrombie, and numerous people, including Jacobson and a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals, to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret, thereby maintaining Jeffries' powerful reputation. So, Nima, you have this long time period. It says at the direction of the defendants, Michael C. Jeffries and Matthew C. Smith, the staff were present at, observed, and acted as security for, including by controlling entry and exit the sex events. The staff also provided Jeffries, Smith, and the men who attended with alcohol, muscle relaxants known as poppers, lubricant, Viagra, condoms, among other items. As directed by Jeffries and Smith, the staff also directed men to, among other things, wear costumes, use sex toys to prepare for particular sexual acts. Either the defendant, James T. Jacobson, or the staff paid the men for attending the sex events. And you talked about count one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Does this not sound similar to the Epstein and fucking Diddy scandal? Man. Oh fucking man. These fucking rich fucks have too much fucking money. They want to fucking do whatever they can do to get off their sexual fucking needs. It's fucking sickening. And that's coming from a guy that used to fucking manage a strip club, for crying out loud. You guys are some rich, sick fucks. I'm going to tell you that. And I say that to say this, man. When I worked at strip clubs here in Columbus, Ohio, as a bouncer, manager, security officer, whatever the fuck, there was this one strip club in particular who's no longer in existence called the Centerfold. Right outside of the airport in Columbus, Ohio. Same route Lexner and Jeffstein and Jeffries would take once they left the airport. They would take Stelzer Road all the way down to Morse into New Albany. And I had friends that has worked at that strip club. He wouldn't hire us security guards because we were assholes. We would fight motherfuckers. We would shoot at motherfuckers and have the owner pay for it in the long run. You know what I mean? We was taught to shoot first and pay for our attorney second. That's how we was taught as security guards. But since there was so much controversy with the strip club I came under, we was under a new second phase of the nuisance law. We were going into the third strike. Club would have been closed for 6 months and had it been renamed under different ownership. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But tried to go back into Centerfold to work as a security guard. He wouldn't hire me because we were violent. But like I said, I had some females that worked there. And they used to tell me the owner, Fred, used to like skinny, mini little girls, all right? And he had a $1 million customer that would come in every once in a while and pay good money for these skinny, mini girls. How does that have to do with the scandal? That club was owned by two people, a male and a lesbian female. Columbus, Ohio was at one point in time a swingers town. If you don't know what a swingers town, it's where you swap, wife swap. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, Columbus, Ohio was known for a swingers town. So everybody knew everybody's business when it came to the swinger shit. Yeah, they try to keep it under ropes, but at the same time, word still got out. And I say that because in the 80s, Epstein was around. Jeffries was around. And Lexner was around as well. It's crazy as hell because all this shit is coming to light in 2020s, mid early, late. And do you really think Michael Jeffries is going to go down for all of this? I don't. We might see another suicide under suicide watch. Just saying. We live in a sick fucking world. Our kids can't even play video games online without fucking predators stalking them. Here in the state of Ohio, we have a fucking state penitentiary just for sexual predators. Growing up before the Abercrombie scandal, we had a politic that would go around wearing a long trench coat and flashing young kids. This sick shit needs to fucking stop. And when I say stop, it needs to fucking stop. And if you think that was sick with the fucking trench coat, we used to have a motherfucker running around Columbus gathering young kids' piss, urine. I don't care if it was for passing a drug test, that's still sick as fuck. And it seems like here in the state of Ohio, these motherfuckers allow it. When I'm in court for a custody case over my child and I'm telling the magistrate, the guardian ad litem, and her fucking attorney that the dude's raising my daughter was a customer at our strip club, and they don't want to do shit about it, let me find out my daughter was fucking molested. Let me find out something happened to her when she was younger. All hell's gonna break loose in the state of Ohio. I'm telling you this. We need to be exposed to these fuckheads that are sick as hell and think it's okay to play around with children's sexual tendencies. It is enough. As a person that grew up in the Philippines where there was a lot of he-she's, I'm not against gays. I'm not against lesbians. I'm not against trans. I'm against these sick fucks that think it's okay that childs get sexually abused. And these sick fucks think it's okay just to give these motherfuckers a slap on the wrist. I have 2 sexual predators living in my fucking neighborhood. As we speak, one lives less than half a mile down the road on the same road. Yeah, they need a place to stay too. But not in society, I don't think. I don't give a fuck whatever mistake you made. And I've also heard so many fucking times, she told me she was 18. But men that tell me this were only thinking with their penis to begin with. So, Michael Jeffries is affiliated with Lex Wexner, who also is affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein. They don't want to release Epstein's files because so many motherfuckers would go down. And I believe the government would be in anarchy because nobody would believe a fucking thing. when they raided Epstein's house, you had fucking George Washington's photo hanging up on the wall just as well as Bill Clinton. So both sides of the fucking political party were involved with the shit to begin with. And like I said from a long time ago, one hand washes the other. They both wash the face. Republicans, Democrats, United States. Think about it, people. Prostitution is the longest career in history. They can't stop it. But one thing they can do is capitalize on the younger prostitution, the human trafficking. That's all it is a money scheme. It's a money ploy. There were so many girls growing up where I was from that would run away. I know so many motherfuckers that are dating somebody or married to somebody numerous years younger than them. I mean, I'm talking like 10 years or more age difference. It's like they were preying on these motherfuckers to begin with. I don't want to name any more names because I could piss a lot of motherfuckers off that I grew up with. It's sickening. I can't stand it. And I feel like I didn't have a chance to have a real girlfriend in life because all these older motherfuckers were preying down on the younger bitches. Do your history. Watch out. Life's crazy. And they'll do shit
In the early
right in front
2000s,
of your
nearly every
fucking
teenager
face.
knew the name.
It was all about our Abercrombie and Fitch logo, and the company was
Without you even have any knowledge of it. It's Thomas with Lukewarm Mess. God bless. Love y'all.